Good morning, students. Welcome to BSc 1 second semester geology class. Today I am going to discuss on the array development in chick. So in the previous class we discussed how the development of chick occurs up to the cleavage stage. So first cleavage, second cleavage, third cleavage, fourth cleavage, all we discussed. Today we shall continue the same topic and let us discuss the structure of blastula and gastrula. So blastula, in later stage of cleavage, the blastomeres of the central area become separated from the underlying yolk due to the appearance of a horizontal cleavage in these cells. See, look here. So these are the blastomeres. Can you see here? This is cross section. Blastomeres of the central region, central circular area. So this layer is separated from the underlying yolk by the horizontal cleavage. As a result, this layer is separated from the underlying yolk, and in between the blastoderm. This is called as blastoderm. Okay, or the epiblast. Between the epiblast and the yolk, there is a cavity called subgerminal space. Or it's also known as the blastocele. Okay. So this cleavage extends periphery, cutting the inner ends of the blastomeres. A space also appears in the beginning beneath the central cells, which also extends peripherally as the horizontal cleavage extends outward. As the horizontal cleavage extends outward, this area is also extending. Can you see here? This is also extending. So this is blastoderm. Marginal zone it is, epiblast. This is the anterior part, posterior part. This is area opaca. Area opaca is not a transparent area. This part is from here to here. This part is called area pellucida. It is transparent because of the presence of cavity below the epiblast, and this cavity is filled with fluid. Area pellucida. Yes, this is area pellucida. Can you see here? Area pellucida. So hypoblast is going to be developed by the inward movement of the cells from the epiblast. Okay. Next, the cavity beneath the central cells, in between the central cells and yolk, is called subgerminal cavity, which is filled with fluid diffused from the albumen through vitelline membrane. Albumin is outside. From the albumen, the fluid is diffused into the cavity. Thus, due to further cleavage, the blastodisc becomes cellular. This is blastodisc. Can you see it? This is blastodisc, and this becomes cellular, called the blastoderm. Around disc, 5 to 6 cells deep in the center, but only 1 to 2 cells deep at the periphery. The appearance of subgerminal cavity separates the blastoderm from the underlying yolk, but the marginal cells remain overlapping the yolk. The embryo is now called blastula stage. So the embryo is called blastula stage. So at the periphery, this part, epiblast, is connected to the yolk, but at the center, it is separated from the yolk. This yellow part is yolk. Okay, this is cavity and this is epiblast. This epiblast is connected to the yolk at the periphery, and that part is called area opaca, and this is area pellucida. So at blastula stage, the embryo reaches in the uterus. Its subgerminal cavity is equivalent to the blastocele. So subgerminal cavity is equivalent to blastocele. Therefore, this stage is called as blastula stage. The blastoderm is animal pole and the yolk is the vegetal pole. Blastoderm is the animal pole, this is animal pole, and this side is the vegetal pole. So during the later part of cleavage, about 12 to 14 hours after the egg reaches the uterus, or 6 to 8 hours before the egg is laid, some cells on the inner or under side of the blastoderm become detached. They become detached or delaminated from the blastoderm and fall on the floor of subgerminal cavity due to the presence of relatively more yolk. The delamination of these yolky cells from the blastoderm starts at the posterior edge and spreads forward until whole blastoderm becomes free from yolk cells. So, some cells are separated from the epiblast and another layer is formed above the yolk, that is called hypoblast. So formation of hypoblast comes under gastrula stage. Okay. So the peripheral part of blastoderm, the yolky cells is not delaminated, so this part of the blastoderm seems to be opaque. Because beneath these cells blastocele is not present, this region of blastoderm is thus called area opaca. These delaminated cells at the posterior edge of the area pellucida gradually link up with each other, forming a continuous layer of flattened cells which extends anteriorly. This layer is called the hypoblast. So this layer is called hypoblast. Can you see here? Hypoblast. Green layer. This is hypoblast. So this hypoblast layer is formed by either cells coming from the epiblast or epiblast cells are multiplying and they are forming a layer just below the epiblast. Okay. So this layer is called hypoblast and the upper layer is epiblast containing ectoderm and mesoderm cells. Hypoblast is exclusively composed of endodermal cells. Hypoblast cells are endodermal cells. This layer is going to be developed into gut. So fate map is not there in your syllabus. Next, gastrulation. So gastrulation is also not there in your syllabus, but to have to aware of this stage, we should understand some processes that occur during gastrulation. So gastrulation begins within 4 or 5 hours after the onset of incubation and it is completed by about 22 hours. It brings out a definite shape to the embryo. Gastrulation in chick embryo can be divided into 2 phases. So gastrulation in chick embryo can be divided into 2 phases: endoderm formation, primitive streak formation. So endoderm formation we already discussed. Hypoblast is nothing but endoderm. So formation of endoderm is explained by several theories. We shall discuss them. Later on, after that, see the primitive streak formation. Primitive streak, it's a stick-like streak which is developing from posterior to anterior direction in the blastodisc, just below the epiblast, and movement of mesodermal cells. Mesoderm, another germline layer is going to be developed in between epiblast and hypoblast. Epiblast is going to be developed into ectoderm, hypoblast endoderm, and in between epiblast and hypoblast, one more layer is formed, that is called the mesoderm. So formation of endoderm. Endoderm of hypoblast develops as a single layer of cells inside blastocele. After the formation of endoderm, upper layer is called epiblast. There are different theories to explain the formation of endoderm. So number 1, infiltration theory. This was proposed by Peter in 1923. According to this theory, some cells in blastoderm which are loaded with yolk will fall into blastocele. It starts from posterior end of the blastoderm. From there, the cells migrate forward and one behind another, and endoderm is formed. So some cells that are present in the epiblast which are having yolk, they are separated from the epiblast and they migrate in the subgerminal cavity, and they all together form another layer called hypoblast or endoderm. That is the infiltration theory proposed by Peter in 1923. And another theory is there, delamination theory. It was proposed by Spratt in 1946. Blastoderm is 2 or 3 layer thick. The lower layer will separate from the upper layer by splitting, and the lower layer is called endoderm. Upper layers are called ectoderm. In between ectoderm and endoderm, blastocele is present. So delamination, one layer from the epiblast is separated and going to be formed into endoderm. This is called delamination theory proposed by Spratt in 1946. And one more theory is there, theory of involution. In 1909, Peterson proposed this theory. What he said, according to this theory, a slit-like opening at the posterior end of the blastoderm forms. Through this opening, the blastoderm cells will roll into the primary blastocele. It forms an endoderm. So according to this theory, at the mid-posterior region of the blastoderm, a small slit is formed. Through this slit, the upper cells are entering into the blastocele. There they assemble to form layer called hypoblast or endoderm. Then theory of invagination. This was proposed by Jacobson in 1938. According to this theory, the posterior end of blastoderm will invaginate. It will invaginate. Invagination means ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗೋದು. ಆ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೊಂದಾಗಿ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಇನ್ವ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. In blastocele, they invaginate into the blastocele as a small pocket. This becomes endoderm. In this way, endoderm is formed. After the formation of endoderm, the blastoderm is called ectoderm. The blastoderm is called ectoderm. So next, the formation of primitive streak. So formation of endoderm is completed, and the second phase is formation of primitive streak. The second step in gastrulation is the formation of primitive streak. At the posterior region of area pellucida, in the mid-dorsal line, primitive streak will appear as a thickened area. Look here. So this is area pellucida and this is area opaca. So in the mid-posterior region of area pellucida, thickened region is appearing. Can you see here? Thickened area of epiblast due to accumulation of cells coming from anterior to posterior direction. So from here cells are moving this side, here moving this side. As a result, all cells are accumulating here at the mid, dorsal region, just below the epiblast, and this becomes thicker, and this continues anteriorly as a rod-like structure. Yes, it continues anteriorly, forms a sort of rod-like structure, thick rod-like structure just below the epiblast, and this is called primitive streak. See, can you see here? This is primitive streak. And dorsally, there is a groove at the center of the primitive streak. Groove. On either side of the groove, folds are formed, primitive folds. So this is primitive groove, both sides. See, look here. So this is primitive groove. So this is primitive groove. So these two are primitive folds, So this groove, below this, cells are attached. Therefore, this part is very thicker. Okay, and this continues. See, next this is okay. So primitive groove, primitive edge, ridge, primitive ridge it is. Then the Hansen's node. So this would be, see, primitive streak would be like this. So this is, Hansen's node below this one. This is primitive pit. Below this, Hansen's node is there. From here to anteriorly, what is going to be developed? The nerve cord, notochord, they develop. So at the posterior region of the area pellucida in the mid-dorsal line, primitive streak will appear as a thickened area. It starts 8 hours after incubation. The thickening is because convergence of cells of blastoderm towards the center. Usually in the early stages, the primitive streak is a short, and broad. It gradually extends to the middle of blastoderm. At 18 to 19 hours of incubation, primitive streak is well developed. It is called definite primitive streak. At 18 to 19 hours of incubation, primitive streak is completely formed. The primitive streak has primitive groove, 2 primitive folds, Hansen's node, primitive pit, primitive plate. Okay. So next, 4 hours incubation, that only we are discussing. After laying the egg is incubated by its parent. So at 4 hours incubation, how it would be? 4 hours after incubation of the egg shows differentiation of blastodisc into area pellucida and area opaca. So differentiation of area pellucida and area opaca can be seen. This is area pellucida, transparent region at the animal pole region of the egg, transparent region, and this is area opaca. It's not transparent. Why it is not transparent? Because here yolk is present. The epiblast upper layer is attached to underlying yolk, but here Yolk is present below this one, but exactly just below this layer cavity is present, and that cavity is filled with fluid. Therefore this appears transparent. One quadrant area of pellucida becomes thickened, which marks the future caudal end of the embryo. This is future caudal embryo of the posterior region of the embryo. So this is thickening, beginning of primitive streak with thickened blastoderm, area pellucida, area opaca. After 7 to 8 hours, the thickening becomes more elongated and represented start of primitive streak. So this is going to be developed into primitive streak. This continues anteriorly. So now let us discuss the 18 hours chick embryo. It is whole mount of 18 hours stage of chick embryo. At this stage, the dark peripheral area opaca and central translucent area pellucida are distinctly visible. Can you see it? So this is area pellucida and this is area opaca. This is primitive streak, this is primitive streak, and this part is primitive pit. Below this Hensen's node is there. From Hensen's node anteriorly, the notochord, nerve cord starts to develop. So in the anterior part is present the proamnion, which is a small and comparatively more translucent region of the area pellucida and is characterized by the absence of mesoderm. So this is proamnion, clear, very clear region, because it is not having mesoderm. Here mesoderm is present. Here mesoderm is present, but here mesoderm is absent. Therefore this is called proamnion. It is present anterior to primitive streak. Proamnion. In the middle of area pellucida, in the posterior half, runs a primitive streak having a primitive groove through its center. The primitive groove is being bound by primitive folds. So primitive groove is being bound by primitive folds. In the anterior half of area pellucida, in the middle runs a neural groove bound by neural folds. So this is neural groove bound by neural folds. So nervous system starts to develop from here to here. This part is the nervous system. Not this one. Not this one. This is neural plate. Okay. Anterior to this Hensen's node, the nervous system starts to develop. As the embryo begins to develop anteriorly, this primitive streak length is reducing. The primitive streak and neural groove is separated by thickening the Hensen's node, having a small depression in the center of the Hensen's pit, known as Hensen's pit. The primitive streak gives rise to an outgrowth, the notochord, immediately below the primitive groove. So this is about 18 hours chick embryo. Cephalic end, caudal end, area opaca. This is area opaca. This is area pellucida. Neural plate, primitive streak, Hensen's node, embryonic area, notochord, proamnion, anterior border. So this is whole mount of 18 hours embryo of chick. Next, 24 hours chick embryo. After 24 hours of incubation, how the structure of the chick embryo, that is explained here. So it has 4 pairs of somites. So it is whole mount of 24 hours, 4 pairs of somites stage of chick embryo. It has 4 pairs of somites. After 20 hours of incubation, for every 1 hour, 1 pair of somates are added on either side of the notochord. Therefore, how do you decide that this embryo is of 24 hours chick embryo? It is having 4 pairs of somites. So 20 plus 4, 24 hours. At this stage, the dark peripheral area opaca and central translucent and colorless area pellucida are distinctly visible. So, area opaca, area pellucida. In the middle area pellucida, it is posterior half runs a primitive streak with a primitive groove in its center. The primitive groove is bound by primitive folds. In the interior half of area pellucida, in the middle runs the neural groove bound by neural folds. So this is neural folds, neural groove. So here somites, there should be 4 pairs, but here more than 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's around 26 hours chick embryo, 24 to 26. Immediately below the primitive streak groove, the primitive streak gives rise to small outgrowth, the notochord, and on either side mesoderm. In the area pellucida, embryonic and extra-embryonic regions also become distinguished. In the interior, most part of the ectoderm has given rise to head fold. This is head fold. Head fold which is pocket-like. This is head fold, pocket-like it is. So it is elevated, this part is elevated from the surface of the blastoderm. Okay. The proamnion is greatly reduced. In front of Henson's node, the mesoderm of embryonic area differentiated into 3-4 pairs of mesodermal somites. These are mesodermal somites. These are called mesodermal somites. Means these somites are made up of mesoderm on either side of the notochord. Okay. The neural canal in the region of head fold gives rise to forebrain. So this gives rise to forebrain. The foregut extends on either side into an amniocardiac vesicle. So this is about 24 hours chick embryo. Next, 36 hours. So whole mount of chick embryo of 13 to 14 pairs somites, or 36 hours. It is whole mount of 36 hours chick embryo. At this stage, the dark peripheral area opaca and central translucent and colorless area pellucida are not visible. So the embryo would be like this. So area pellucida, area opaca, we cannot differentiate because all part is area pellucida. The extraembryonic area has grown in size. The primitive streak is comparatively reduced because of great lengthening of neural canal and neural folds. The notochord has extended from behind the brain up to the end of the body. The mesoderm in front of Henson's node has given rise to 13 to 14 pairs of somites. See how many somites are here. Can you see here? Dot-like structures. 13 to 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. You can count them. So based on the number of these somites, age of the embryo can be calculated. So this part is the neural fold going to be developed into nervous system, and this anterior part of the neural tube is going to be developed into brain part, brain. So forebrain, is here, forebrain, foregut, midbrain, hindbrain, first somoid, vitelline vein, 13th somoid, and mesoderm, primitive stick. Very small primitive stick is here, only dot-like primitive stick. I think you have understood the process of development of embryo. As the embryo is growing, the primitive stick size is reduced. Hansen's node, area pellucida, vitelline lateral body fold, area vasculosa. Yes, this is called area vasculosa. Red spots started to appear. They are going to be developed into blood cells, blood vessels, neural fold, neural groove, proamnion, optic vesicle. So this is a whole mount of 36 hours chick embryo. So the brain is differentiated into forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. In the forebrain region, optic vesicles, and in the hindbrain region, optic vesicles have developed. The area opaca has changed into area vasculosa. Area opaca has changed into area vasculosa. Proamnion has disappeared. Proamnion is not there. Anterior omphalomesenteric vein and vitelline artery have developed. So these are the arteries. The cardiac vesicle has given rise to heart. So this is cardiac vesicle. Can you see this part? This is going to be developed into heart. So that's about 36 hours chick embryo. And last one is 48 hours chick embryo. So whole mount of 48 hours chick embryo, it may have 26 to 28 pairs of somates. At this stage, the area opaca and area pellucida are not visible. The extra embryonic area has grown in size. Primitive streak has disappeared. Primitive streak has disappeared. No. See, the embryo has twisted. This anterior part is the brain. Forebrain, midbrain and hindbrains. These are somates. Centrally, nerve plate, nerve cord is there. This is heart. So these are the blood vessels. This is this tail fold, tail bud it is. The mesoderm in front of Hansen's node has given rise to 26 to 28 pairs of somates. The brain has differentiated into telencephalon, prosencephalon, mesencephalon, metencephalon and malencephalon. The heart has been differentiated into ventricle and atrium. Sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus have also started to developing. The eye has been differentiated into optic cup and lens, and optic vesicle has also developed sufficiently. So eye is developed, optic lens, optic cup seen. Then the head region has curved on right side due to cranial flexion, due to cranial twisting. Head part is heavier, therefore it turns on its right side. Three pharyngeal kill slits have also been differentiated. Behind Hansen's node, a tail bud has also developed. Lateral amniotic folds, anterior omphocephalomesenteric vein and vitelline artery have appeared. Okay, this is the embryo of chick at 48 hours incubation. At 48 hours incubation, the chick embryo would be like this. Primitive streak is reduced, disappeared. Heart is developed. Eyes are developed. Brain is developed. Somites are 27 pairs, 26 to 27 pairs. Then Vitelline artery is there, developed. And veins are developed. So these are the different parts of the embryo. So with this we have completed 48 hours chick embryo structure. So at the end of this chapter, so we can attempt few assignments. So first question is what is blastula? Second one is what is area pellucida? Third one is what is area opaca? Fourth one is what is primitive streak? What is primitive streak? Draw a neat label diagram of 18 hours chick embryo. 18 hours chick embryo. So these are the assignments on this topic. So thank you.